Hi, I'm Kamon Reynolds. In this video we're going to show you a colony that needs a hive body reversal. Some colonies really need their brood chambers switched around, and whether you're running all mediums or a combination of different boxes, there are some colonies that at some point might need the top box switched with the bottom. This is a perfect hive, I think, to show you all. I've done about 50 of these in this last week. Not all the colonies needed it. Some queens are better about dropping down and laying below, and some of them are really bad about just staying up top, and you have all this empty space down below. And at the end of the video, we're going to show you a colony, at the end of this video, a colony that needs an extra brood chamber. They're only a single, but they need that now. It is the second week of March, and it is raining out, but we found a little time to make this video as I was going through our home yard. All right. So let's show you what's up top. Lots of bees. Plenty of bees and plenty of food. However, the queen's up here as well. And that's a problem because if we have all the food, most of the bees, and this frame feeder, and the queen's up here, she's going to run out of room to lay this time of the year. There's a lot of pollen that came in last week, and that can actually plug the brood nest as well. And whenever she starts running out of room to lay, but the bees are growing, it can start swarming. Here in Tennessee, March the 13th, I'm already seeing swarm cells in colonies that are really big. Good bit of weight there. All right, nice bit of bees down here. But is there a lot of brood, and is there a lot of empty space down here? And I think there's going to be. All right, so let's start at an edge frame and see what we have. All right, this frame has just a tiny bit of honey up in here. It's like 2% full. It's empty the rest of the way. So we're just going to lay this on down. Let's go more towards the center. I see a little bit of drone brood right in here. What the queens will do sometimes is drop down just a little bit, lay part of the tops of the frames, and then head back up again. Let's get these bees out of the way. Scoot these frames over just a little bit. All right, so this is a center frame right here. Let's see if the queen has been laying on this at all. That's all pretty much bee bred. No brood down in there. And nothing but empty combs right here. Or empty cells, I should say. This frame, I do see a little bit of brood. I don't think there's going to be any. So if that's the case, that means all of these right here are just empty brood combs just waiting to be used. Yeah, this is incredibly light. There's no brood in that. Brood's actually quite heavy. Not as heavy as honey, though. That stuff is really heavy. All right. This is super light as well, so there's a little bit of brood in here. Yeah, the queen's come down into here. She's laid a little bit, but this is not enough. She should be able to lay a whole lot more. And, you know, this frame's only maybe halfway full of brood, so she's just dipping down. She'd probably dip down for just a little bit, laid this up, went back up top. This is a problem. The bees are going to run out of room in that top box. They probably already have. So let's get this put back together and let's do a box reversal. We can clean the bottom board if we want to as well. Let's pop this. And we're just going to, man, that is really lightweight. So you can see the pollen patty and whatnot that they've been dropping bits of it as they've been eating it. This box is a lot more weight. Swap that around. They'll clean that base out before too long. I'll come back around and do it. All right, let's get up into here. Or down into here, I guess now. Make sure the queen's not up on this up here, because you don't want to pull it off and fling her away. That would be bad. All right, let's see what's going on up here. This looks like a good frame to check. See if our queen's laying a good pattern. I hope so, because if she is, this hive's going to be a good production colony this year. It just needs a little... Oh, okay. Yep. That confirms it right there. 2020 queen. Looking good. Best thing that came out of 2020 was our queens. They look pretty awesome. Boy, I love that. But she's running out of room. She's got brood all the way up into here. There's bee bread, there's foodstuffs. She's not dropping down below. She needs more room to lay. Loaded. This did need to go in the bottom. It's about 55 degrees right now, so we're going to set this out just for a second. And then we're just going to go over here. I got to look around. This girl's doing a wonderful job. You got to appreciate queens like this, you know? Okay, so this is a really nice frame as well, and there's just brood all down in there, eggs and younger larvae. So this is, I think, starting to emerge out. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. This is just great. But absolutely, I mean, she can't lay up in here. This is all laid up in here. This is definitely all laid up. So these two frames, she's running out of room. Let's move on down the line. If you all see the queen, let me know, okay? Alright, let's check this edge frame. And what did you look at that? There is just, oh man, there's just larvae all down in here, eggs everywhere. She's just laying these frames up. Poor girl, she needs room. And just look at this frame right here. Gorgeous hive. I'm imagining the next frame over doesn't have much brood on it, or none at all. Usually the edge frames don't, but sometimes they do. We're just going to put these back in. I'm going to give another puff of smoke. They're not really getting too agitated, but you like to stay ahead of things, you know. So we're just going to peek on over on this frame. Ah, yes, this is going to have brood. I can just tell by the weight of it. Yep, all kinds of young stuff down in there. Bee bread. You can kind of also tell by how the bees are acting on the combs. Nurse bees act very differently than worker bees. You can just kind of, you know, they're just, I don't know, more relaxed. Definitely more relaxed. There's just eggs all the way out to here, all the way around. This hive is, ooh, gorgeous. Alright, we're just going to put this together. I'm pretty sure there's brood on that frame by the look of it. But she's out of room to lay. Completely out of room to lay. And we're just going to throw these back together. And this box behind us must have at least 7 frames that are just completely empty, or by and large empty. And that's going to allow her to be able to move on up. So what are the rules when doing a hive body reversal? Remember, just because one hive, or even maybe 5 out of your 10 hives need it, doesn't mean all of them need it. Some of them, I'm not one of those people that do it to every colony at a certain time. Like, okay, it's this time of the year, hive body reversals. Some colonies are a little bit behind. We don't want to do it to a colony that doesn't need it. Because when we do this, we're totally changing the currents in the colony. And that can really affect how they are able to warm the brood. In a strong colony like this time of the year, where our average temperature is 55 degrees Fahrenheit or more during the daytime temperatures, we're still getting down to freezing and whatnot, but the bees can keep the brood warm a lot easier. And this colony's got a lot of bee power. Just think what's fixing to come out of all of that. It's going to be impressive. What we are going to do, though, is we know, looking at the weather forecast, the next 10 days, we're going to have about 7 of those days out of 10 that are going to be rainy, cloudy, and overcast, and a couple of them that are pretty cool. So we don't want them to feel any nutritional stress. We want this queen to just feel like we love her, because we do. And we are going to give them pollen patty. And that bee just stung me really good. Ah, working bees right after a rain shower. I hope you all appreciate this video. I'm just kidding. This isn't torture to me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these bees, see how that bee darted on me like that? They're just, they're done. This is not the day for it. But I'm puncturing little spots in there just to help them eat a little bit faster. A big colony like this doesn't really need it. Now, this top box is like virtually empty. Well, now it's going to be the top box. We're going to throw just about a quart of 1-to-1 sugar syrup down into here. There we go. And they're going to move that up into this top box. Yes, is it going to make them grow a little bit faster? Absolutely. Some people might not want to do that, but I don't want this colony to, you know, this colony is going to take so much resources. They're going to eat through so much of their food. We don't want them to run light. We won't have a good nectar flow up here for at least a month. So we're a long way from any significant nectar coming in. There'll be trickles of it, but this is a big colony. It's fixing to get bigger. Now that girl's going to be able to come up into this top box, and she is just going to be able to lay to her heart's content. She's got all the nutrition that she needs to do it. Oh, looks like we got a bee. Anyways, so this hive is just exactly what we want to see this time of the year. But the queen was locked in that top box. Now she's got all this room to go, and we're going to shut them up. They've got nutrition to keep going forward. Healthy bee population, great queens, dead mites, and good nutrition. Now let's go look at that single deep box that really needs a double deep. So we're over here to a hive that needs a box, and it needs it now. But we're going to show you more than just throwing a box on. We're going to show you what we're going to do to, I think, encourage the queen to come up and use this top box as fast as possible and entice the bees to get up there as well. So it's going to be rainy for a little while. The bees are full in this hive, and we must get some extra space or they're going to swarm. This is March, mid-March is swarm time for us in Tennessee. Whoa, okay, yeah. That's what I was hoping to see, and I figured I'd see that. Alright, this should be about perfect timing on this hive right here. So what I want to do is go down in here and find a good frame of capped brood. Now if we were trying to get a box of foundation drawn, you want to bring up larvae because that forces nurse bees to come up and they have to maintain those nurse bees. Obviously it needs to be fairly warm, but you can bring that larvae up and it'll help draw your foundations. Excuse me, bee. But this right here, I'm going to bring up a frame of capped brood if possible. So looks like these two right here have capped brood. And there goes a small hive beetle. Scoot these over to the side a little bit. There we go. On a day like today, you want to give them just a little more smoke than usual. They have been a little testy today. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there. Prefer to find something that's emerging or really close to emerging for multiple reasons. First, if it gets a little cool, they're going to be a little tougher, in my opinion. And also, I don't want to have to maintain them as much. So this right here is a bunch of capped brood. And here's the real kicker, and the reason I like to do it. Yeah, this will be good right here. When this capped brood emerges, like I've said before, it releases a pheromone, lets the queen know that there's basically open cells over here that you can go lay in. So we want that up in this top box so that we can basically have that saying, hey, come on up here, girl, and start laying. Now, it helps us is we can take one of these completely drawn combs and drop it down below so she has immediate laying room. I'm just lean that right there. I think this one right here might be just a little bit better. So we are going to check this one out. Just a gorgeous looking pattern. No, this one's slightly younger. They're just now capping all of this right here. So we'll just go with the frame that we had so we can just shut them up. Man, what a gorgeous looking hive right here though. Definitely needs its second box now. And we're going to throw a patty on. So on a frame that I'm going to throw down, this would be a good one. It's a brood comb. You can tell it's had brood put into it. Gauging on this frame, and when I got this, I'm thinking this frame's probably 5 or 6 years old. So we're going to drop this down in here, and instant laying room. Some people don't like dropping it in between brood and whatnot. I feel like on a colony this strong, it'll be just fine. We're going to pop all this back together. And I want to throw this this pollen patty right up here. Again, just to ensure that they feel like they have plenty of foodstuffs coming in and they don't have to worry about nutrition for a while. honestly, we're going to take this one and we're going to stick it about dead center. That'd be good. Look at that propolis right there at the bottom. That is a lot. See if I can break that off. Oh, come on now. That's what the hive tool's for, right? Woo! I'll save that. Alright, we're just going to drop this frame down in here. And as that brood emerges, that queen's going to come up in here, have all the room that she could want to lay. They can also bring pollen up here, and they're set for a while. But I'm telling you right now, the way that bottom box looks, we come back 3 weeks from now, this top box is going to be completely full of bees. Just, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and stick this up here. This colony's strong. They can handle it. I don't know what else to do with it. I guess I could put it away, but delete it. There you have it. So nothing too fancy going on right here with this, but it's very important. Stay ahead of the bees. These strong, powerful colonies, both of these colonies right here could have swarmed within just a handful of a week or two. They look great, but these strong colonies, they just grow so rapidly in March here in Tennessee. And this is our heavy, we're going to start swarming between now and May is our really heavy swarm time of the year. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any comments on what we did to reverse those hive bodies or anything like that, just leave them below.